Okay, so today we are going to go through the steps on how to cut Pro Cut vinyl. So the first thing we want to do is open Make the Cut. There's a desktop shortcut here. Double click that. I already have it open, so I'm just going to open it here. It's going to look something like this. The cuttable area may look slightly different, but anyways, we're going to go File, Import, Vector, where it says Vector, PDF, PS for Photoshop, EPS, AI for Adobe Illustrator, File. I typically save it as a PDF. We're going to open that. It's in this sort of vertical orientation. Down here at the bottom is rotate 90 degrees, also Control G. Rotates at 90 degrees. So I'm going to place this in here, centered vertically in this space, and I'm just going to adjust the width slightly just so you can see how to do that. So the way you do that is you go File, Print Setup. You want to make sure that you have the Graphtec CE6000 Plus. That's a plotter cutter that we're using. Size of the paper and size selected to user, size 1. Click Properties. Make sure you're on the unit measurement of inch. And then here under the second option, drop-down menu is paper size. I'm going to select user size 1. And just so you can, for demonstration purposes, I'm going to adjust this to smaller than I need it to be. Click OK. So this accept and OK again, accept. So you can see how now the artwork is outside the intended user size for the Graphtec. So if that happens, anything that goes outside this gray dotted line that breaches this darker khaki and out to the blue dotted line or dashed line is not going to cut, and we don't want that. So we go back to File, Print Setup. Again, Graphtec CE6000 Plus is selected. We're going to click Properties. Unit of measurement is inch. Second drop-down menu is for paper size. We're going to select user size 1. I just do this continually because oftentimes the sizes that I use are always different. So this just pops up the option, and then I can input what I want. This ruler doesn't extend as far as I know, so I'm just going to go ahead and make our sort of arbitrary guess based off of this visual. Click OK, click OK. So I'm still a little short. I wonder if I could increase this here. No, it doesn't look like you can increase the size of the ruler. But that's okay. So I'm just going to go back to File, Print Setup. It's as easy as just going back into the Properties panel and taking another guess. So I'm going to go 35. Actually, I'm going to go 37. That sounds good to me. And so it looks like we're good. We're just about 1.25 inches-ish wider than the artwork we're trying to cut, which is good because that tells me that all the artwork is going to be cut. So once that's done, for cuttable Pro vinyl, which is like a sticker adhesive, I'm just going to cut on top of the artwork, and then that gets transferred to a carrier sheet. And since it has an adhesive sticky back, that's going to apply to the surface. So I need it to be facing up. So it needs to be read correctly. You can read it correctly. It's not mirrored. If we mirrored it, it would look something like this here. And that's not what we want for Pro Cut vinyl, unless you wanted it backwards, and then it would have to be placed on the inside of a mirror facing out. Or in the case of doing t-shirt vinyl, you would want to mirror it, but not for this particular application. So I'm going to switch it back by clicking that mirror button. So once that's all set up and I have all of my artwork within the correct bounding box, or I guess the cuttable area that I've set, I'm going to do File, Print, Graphtec is selected, all my settings are already set. I'm going to click OK, and then click OK again to clear this message. Then it's going to begin cutting. going to begin to cut. All this was already set before I sent it to print. So I have the correct vinyl type setting selected and I guess sort of calibrated to this type of vinyl, which the speed of the cutter is 25 and the pressure is at 15. It's going to vary from different types of vinyl to t-shirt vinyl, thicker substrates. There's a lot of different things you can do with this machine, so you really want to make sure that's dialed in. With the type of vinyl that we use on a regular basis, it's pretty consistent, but you could always do a test squared in the beginning. So once that's set, we're actually going to cut it off the roll. I don't know if this reaches far enough for you to see that, so let's just move some of this out of the way. And okay, so basically there's a lever here on this back side. Upstage it, you push it down, it unlocks these rollers, and then I'm just going to feed the already cut vinyl out. And I'm going to take a really close look to make sure that all of my artwork is past this little cutting trough, because I'm going to run a razor blade through it to cut it loose. Now I'm going to go ahead and lock it back up to hold it in place, and I'm also going to make another copy of this piece of artwork. So once that's set, it's going to give me 4 options if I want the roll to be set to the front edge, the current position, or for a sheet, or just to continue. In this case, I'm going to click front edge, and it's going to go ahead and start to view where that front edge is, and then it pulls it back into place, and now I'm ready to cut again. And so since I'm going to make a duplicate of this artwork here, I'm just going to do File, Print Again, click OK, and I'm going to accept that message, and then we're going to start cutting again, and that's it.